Austin. I brought some sauce from Boston and awesome tossing and more often than not. Then leave you hawking and coughing. Get the fuck off our block, man. People stopping and watching while we topping the shot. What the fuck is their problem? Do you have what it takes to get awake and baked on the Mellow Dome? Call in from the front porch on your cellophone. Does Michelle know? Hella no. The whole globe model is a hella hole. Snap, the conaption, traption, lapping at the refraction, flat smacking, axing, jackson, mass attraction, fake virus, fake vaccine. It's time we take action. The passion in the Mellow Dome is relaxing. Break dancing and record scratching. Read the caption. Christian Knapp is the captain. Please distract him. I'm going to take the key to the RV and leave the bastard. Do you have what it takes to get awake and baked on the Mellow Dome? Call in from the front porch from your cellophone. Does Michelle know? Hella no. The whole globe model is a hella hole. Flat Earth looks like a yin-yang. We don't believe in the Big Bang. Go by the flat gang, and Attic is an ice ring. Sell your soul for nothing. Earth is flat like a pancake. Your mama likes my man steak. Mainstream media is all fake. I've been vaping in the hallway all day. Pick the global pot, all the other lies just fall away. Do you have what it takes to get awake and baked on the Mellow Dome? Call in from the front porch on your cellophone. Does Michelle know? Hella no. The whole globe model is a hella hole.
Great way to start your day. Let's go.
This is the Mellow
Yeah, say hello to them fellows. The nugs sticky like marshmallows. Always ready to go, reppin' that wake and bake show. With Awesome Austin and Christian Knapp. Better put on your thinking cap, cause they're getting down to the nitty gritty. And sometimes they don't look so pretty. From Sandy Hook to 9/11, here I'm out at your discretion. From flat earth to moon landings, all aboard and listen to your captain. And pack a ball while you at it, cause staying baked is a habit. Fresh out the oven, it's time for discussion. So much knowledge you might get a concussion, cause you are now in the mix with the slickest of the slicks, the kings of the throne. Yeah, this the Mellow Dome.
They the type to change your mind, make you rethink and rewind. Spark a thought that goes shine, bring sight to the blind. No matter where they wrong, this the Mellow Dome.
Yo, how's everyone doing?
All right. What's up, everybody? Hold on. Let me get Jeremy back in here. All right. What's up? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mellow Dome. Episode 35, Breaking the Chains of Addiction, right?
35.
Yeah, right. 35. We've done a lot, bro. We got some special guests tonight. We got Ross the Bear in the house. We got James, Grounded Extracts. And we got I Want to Know More, Jeremy from I Want to Know More in the house. Much love, guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys for showing up tonight.
Thanks for having us.
It was like before Jeremy popped on, it was like a mini Flattoberfest reunion. It was pretty cool, and next year, Jeremy, you got to come.
Yeah, I
you gotta
always
come
miss
to
the
the next
good
one.
stuff.
It's all
We'll get
good.
you there.
It's all good. We're gonna
And
get into
thank
some
you,
good stuff
everyone
tonight.
in the chat for showing up tonight. Flat
Yeah, much
Accord
love.
Music. Great
Yeah.
to see you.
Young Love, always in the house. Sue Finelli.
Joe Dentramal.
What's up,
Matt
Scott?
Mellow, Tommy,
Everyone.
good to see you. Robert Page.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
tonight is
Rico.
Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna say in the chat, it looks like mini Flattoberfest. Scrolling
Yeah, I
through.
know, right? It's always a
Steve
fucking
Finelli.
reunion right here.
So
It was
so
cool
great.
to meet everybody, man. It was so
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Great to know I got to hug most of you all and spend some time. Yeah, it's such a blessing.
That's for real.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Derek's
Yeah,
in the house.
tonight's gonna be a
Ryan.
different type of show. We're gonna be doing talking about addiction. You know what I mean? It's kind of I was thinking about it earlier. It was like one of the biggest secrets in my life is now like one of the biggest part of my story, and it's like whether I want that to be it or not, it is what it is. So it's I just want to share my experience. I've shared some of it on my awakening with Brian, and I've shared a few times with you, Christian, on this show. But I think that's part of like, because I've been clean for it'd be 3 years. January, my wife says. So it's still a healing process for me. I don't talk about this a lot, so I think talking about it is important, and so that's why I asked these guys to come on. They shared similar stories to mine, and so we're just here. We're not here to like play doctor or try to tell people how to get clean or anything like that. It's just sharing experiences or I'm not even sure how this conversation is going to go. I don't know what to expect really. I just know that it's just going to be coming together, a conversation. I think it's going to be therapy for everybody. People that are interested in this topic. I think, this is important for the community to talk about. There's people that are struggling with a lot of things. And I think a lot of people in this community before they got here had experienced some type of trauma in their lives. You know what I mean? That some type of situation, whether it was addiction or some type of traumatic situation that led to here. So I think this is going to relate to a lot of people just having this conversation with you guys. So I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No problem.
So,
I second that.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I guess
guys
we
here.
can just go around and you guys can each share a little bit about yourselves. We don't have to get into anything, to whatever, you know what I mean? Would that be the best way to start it, Christian, you think?
Yeah. I think
I'm nervous for this
people
one.
know.
If anybody can tell, I'm pretty nervous for this one. This is pretty personal to me. So
Well, we
that's
could
why
also
I
make
really
it interactive with the chat,
Absolutely. Well, I was planning on dropping the link later to see if there's anybody that was in the chat or watching that feels like they want to share a story or get something off their chest or just anything, so I was planning on doing that to get it. Or if there's any questions in the chat, right? If there's anybody that, wants to share something, I don't know. But if maybe we can start with Jeremy, because this was me and Jeremy. We've been talking about this for a few weeks before Flattoberfest. So let's start off with Jeremy from I Want to Know More. What's up, brother? Why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. Yep, I'm Jeremy. I'm from a little rural community in Alabama, which I currently live in now. Let's see here. I was an only child, which I think, comes a lot of my problems. My parents had worked, so pretty much from the time I was 11, I finally talked my mom and dad to not making me stay at my aunt's anymore because I hated it over there. I got to stay alone, and I think one of the worst things you can give a kid is tons of free time. Pretty much I was a latchkey kid. Really didn't fit in much in high school. You know, they Japanese have a saying, the nail that sticks out gets hammered. Well, I stuck out pretty much. Uh, get on down the road. You know, I experimented with stuff on and off in high school. You know, I smoked some pot, took some pills, and some acid and whatnot. But uh, I really didn't.
Oh no,
Damn, I knew we were
he's
probably
on
gonna lose him. Damn,
a
dude.
wonky network.
Yeah. Well, let's head over to James. James, before you get into anything, I don't want you to think this is like this. I don't want this to be like some AA meeting or any type of situation
No,
like
so,
that, you know.
right,
But
right.
I just want to give you a big shout out because I mean I'd never seen you on any other like stream or anything. So for you to come onto our show, the Mellow Dome, and talking about this topic, bro, like much respect, man, for real. Like I
Yeah,
really
totally,
appreciate that. So
Thanks, man.
totally.
Thanks, man. Well, if you didn't do it, I wouldn't be on, you know. But
hell
this
yeah,
is
right.
very no, it changed my entire life. Or not changed it, but it was part of the adventure that is my life, and it was so many, like as you guys know, like there's so many things that happen when you're using, and that seems like what you were talking about with Brian the other night. We've all been through like so many different experiences. Um, it's just weird, like from probation to like just getting caught the same ways, and like just so many things that shape, and I also think it like can push your truther conscious a little up, because it's like so clear cut. Like drug addiction, you either are high or you're not. It's so you're either sick or you're not. So I think there's something to do with that lifestyle. And then I've just met so many truthers that have the, or quote unquote truthers that have that background. So I think that's there's something to that too, you know.
Yeah,
Absolutely, for sure. I
But
definitely
thank
agree with
you,
that.
man, too.
Um, yeah, that's a trait that I seem to be catching. You know, when I shared some of my story, I got a lot of feedback from people in the community, like, you know, and they shared some of their story. Jeremy was one of the first ones to do it, you know, and then, you know, just even me like posting this, like I posted damn, we keep losing them. Like I posted a a post on YouTube about the show, and then I hopped on Miss Mays and Buddha's show. I listen to them every week because they're always on right before us. And shout out to them. You gotta need to go check them out. They got great conversations going on. But yeah, so they were talking about addiction. So it's like, hell yeah, dude, it like started something, you know, more because I feel like this stuff, and then come to find out, I'm not trying to put them on the spot, but they were talking about on their stream, they are both you know, had addiction problems and are in recovery themselves. So it's like, yo, like that's what's up. Like, you know, it's just you know, a lot of us we relate. So I feel like it's important. Like, why ignore this topic? You know what I mean? Like, not ignore it, but I mean, not everything has to be all conspiracies and shit like that. You know, like
Right.
we're humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
do you?
man.
My
Let me
kids are in
ask
the
you
background.
something.
I got the door closed, and you can still hear them. It's bothering me, so I'm gonna be muted in between.
You guys all probably had a personality that was like really curious and like you know, even at an early age, we're probably calling bullshit on stuff, you know, and probably had a young truther inside. And I'm just wondering what the link,
Uh,
if any, is there between like the oh, there's the Melodome. That was awesome, dude, at the show. The cannabis
yeah, man.
tincture.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys liked it, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
gonna make more, and we'll leave cannabis off the label for sure.
Yeah, we gotta. It'd be great to put it in the store, the Melodome store. Have
Yeah,
like
dude.
a supply there that people can. It's so good.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, um,
Thanks.
when you start to realize that the world is messed up, right? And at a young age, you can start to see things and be like, "Whoa, 9/11 or the moon landing. Do I really believe it?" And
Right.
even at a young age, if you're thinking about those kinds of things, your head is kind of in a weird place where it's like, what kind of creepy place was I placed here? And I'm wondering if like any of you guys felt like um, there was like something that was inside of you that was so different than the other people, experiencing the world, that it led to your using of these kinds of things where you're just kind of like want to get away from the world that other people are living in because of a like a truther that's inside of you. Like, what's the link basically, do you think, between being truthers and addiction?
Yeah, maybe I think you made a good point. I don't think it's the drugs that bring out the truther. I think maybe you already have to have that in you. Because I remember seeing Loose Change in 2005, and it was in high school. One of my friends had it in their profile of Instant Messenger, AIM, like at the very bottom.
Yeah.
And I saw that from the first second. I was like, like you recognize it. Truth has a ring to it. Not that every single thing in that film was true or whatever, but what they were
Right.
alluding to was, and I remember showing my dad, and he was like, holy shit. Like, and he was like all on board.
Yeah. Your dad was, when he saw
Yeah,
it.
but he was like a Republican, like, watch
Same
Fox News,
thing.
like,
Yeah, same thing with me. I picked up on the bullshit quick, I felt like, and I never really bought into whole politics and maybe it was like an escape mentality, but to be dead honest with you, the point when I started doing drugs, it was like, I'm not even gonna say start doing drugs, because it was like when I started fucking with these pills, because it started with these pills, which
yeah,
are completely manufactured. It's like so you got these rehab facilities that are designed to treat people for like alcohol, right? People are going there and then they'll do better, right? Like, not everybody, but for the most part, it's like a successful rate. But then you got this new kind of breed that was coming in, and it's these pill addictions. And these rehab things weren't working. Well, I'm trying to get to this is
right.
like this was a whole different level. Like when I first when I first grabbed one of them pills, I remember because I was with people who were already hooked that
Yeah,
were telling me
wait,
not to take it.
right.
Oh,
Right. And
really?
I'm like, this little thing, bro, I ain't gonna be hooked. Ain't nothing, pop. Next thing you know, I'm fucking dope sick and I'm trapped before I even knew I was fucking trapped. Like,
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
so you
I
don't
didn't
think
even
about it,
understand I didn't even understand the concept of addiction. I realized until I
Yes.
got addicted to shit. I,
Yes.
I knew, like, oh, I love music. I'm addicted to music, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't really understand that it was a choiceless situation after you make your first few choices. Like, you get to make choices, but then the shit takes over. And it's funny you're saying that, like, the pills are like a different type of animal. So I got off uh, I shot heroin for 7 years. And I did, I smoked crack and meth and everything else during that. And then after that, for 3 or 4 years, I got put on Suboxone, and then to help with like side effects, they gave me Adderall. I ended up getting Clonopin, muscle relaxers. They just kept piling like all the
Wow.
shit like a drug addict would want on top of Suboxone. And so anyways, I did, like, I was uh always like obsessed with the natural realm and healing realm and drugs, and but the mystical side of it, not like pills. I did all sorts of shit, but what I was interested in was always like the mystical avenue of it. And so I looked at ibogaine, and they make that from iboga, and that kicked like 11 years worth of like solid drug addiction out of my body in 10 days. I used it for 10 days straight, and most people don't do that, but I wanted to make sure like this shit was clear, because what it's supposed to do, and it does, it scrapes your
Yeah, I remember
receptors.
reading about that, bro. I wanted to try that. I remember reading
Dude,
all about that.
What is it? Is it a
Where do
plant?
you live in Florida, bro?
no, I live in New York.
You gotta move to
We'll
Florida,
we'll
bro.
talk we'll talk later about
Yeah.
that.
Is it a plant?
Yeah, okay. So iboga it's a tabernanthe iboga. It's a tree that grows in South Africa, and it's mainly located within the this place where the Bwiti tribes are. It's like Bwiti, and their
Okay.
entire culture is just surrounds the iboga tree. And so they have initiations for their children when they're like 7 years old up to 14 years old to see if they're ready for man or womanhood. And it because it's a spiritual experience, and they have a murder rate of 0.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
zero
so
percent.
it gives you a comforting feeling when you take it, and it
Well,
helps you
it takes you
conquer addiction?
withdrawal. Right, right. It like turns your withdrawals from like 10 to like 3 maybe,
Wow.
physically and mentally, and you start like, I don't know if you guys have ever taken anything that kind of project like an image in your head. You're not completely hallucinating. Your eyes aren't closed. You can see everything, but you're projecting something else. You're able to see something else in your actual head. So it does that, and it kind of takes you through your life. It's not just like it cleans the shit out of you. It's a teacher plant, and it teaches you how to like all the areas in your life. You just start going through all of your memories like a Rolodex, just like a million
Yeah.
miles an hour, and no emotions attached. I mean, like you'll get like overwhelmed in things by like how intense things are, but there's no judgment, or like uh, there's exactly what you need. Like it'll point out where you went wrong, what you should have done, what you should have said, while putting your shittiness aside. And because things cloud, like anger and drugs, tons of shit cloud, the reasons why we do it. And when I took it, I realized I didn't even realize the fucking horrible shit I was doing. And even before that, it goes back to like childhood in terms of like the memory. I swear to God, if you take enough of it, it'll make a screen come down in front of your face, like you will straight up start hallucinating, and you'll start seeing it in like a video screen. It's
Wow.
fascinating. That's why I think they didn't even invent cameras and shit. I think that shit's always been, but
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy. So and I told my doctor about it, and he was like really upset about it and real shitty with me. And he's like, if it really worked, I would have known about it. They would have told
Oh,
me about it. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah. They
Right.
didn't teach that
Yeah.
in my universities that I went to.
right,
So
right.
Just
you,
degrees on the wall.
dude, your story sounds um like mine, like with like
Yeah,
the whole, I did it all, man. I was doing it all, meth and all that shit, bro.
yeah,
It was a
Well,
crazy ride, man. Like
yeah. I heard your story. It was a great show on Brian's show.
there's a lot that I missed out when I go back and listen to it. I kind of wish I had more time or like thought of more, because
Well, you could talk
it's
forever
not
about
like I
that
want to
shit,
share
brother.
more, well, I do want to share more, but it's like it was heavy, bro. That was hard for
Right.
me to even get out. I don't know
Oh, I
if people
choked
could
up,
tell.
bro. I hear you. I choked up. I was like, oh fuck, because my dad died and very similar things. My brother's still using. So like so many things you said just hit my
Yeah.
truth bell. Like, oh, that's true. It's just innately true for me in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, my
So
brother's still
that's
using
great
as
to hear.
well. And
Yeah.
from the last I heard, I mean, I don't speak to him anymore, but and and yeah, it was a crazy wild ride, and it's kind of I get at a loss for words. Rasta Bear, what let me hear some of your story. I listened to your awakening, which was awesome. But
Yeah.
let me I want to hear what, like, you mentioned Oxycontin. You know what I mean? What you got?
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, my struggles, have been similar to your guys's. I started off, in high school. I started hanging out with like these gutter punk kids who were, into the crank, and so like that was one of the first really hard substances that I'd gotten into early on. And, they were even, they got me into shooting it up and stuff, when I was
What was
younger.
that? I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. What was it?
Crank, like
Oh
just
yeah,
like a
yep. The
cheaper version.
bathtub meth. The
Yeah,
bathtub meth. That was the dirty
yeah,
shit.
That's
yeah,
why we called it
yeah.
the dirty.
And,
Yeah.
so, I'd experimented with that stuff a bit. Primarily, like you had mentioned, like the quest for truth, as opposed, or in conjunction with, the drugs. Like it started out, like I was very passionate about, the different substances that were out there. I was fascinated, that they had these different abilities to take you different places mentally and whatever. So I think a lot of, especially my beginning in the process of usage, was to explore outside the mind. And that's why, I've always leaned more towards like the psychedelics and things like that, which a lot of times, like I still to this day, you know, I'm on the fence about recommending those as, ways to like, heal yourself and open your mind and whatnot. And so as long as those aren't done, in an abusive manner and they're reserved for like sacred ceremonial times or just times of enlightenment, I think that those can be positive thing. But, you know, other than that, like I drifted in and out of getting in trouble with the law, mainly over cannabis. So like, I was put on probation and had to do all these drug tests and things like that. And cannabis stays in your system for up to like 30 days. And, and it's something that can heal you and, help you, to cope with your pains or anything else, if you're trying to get off other substances, like it's the magic cure
Hell
for
yeah,
all that,
bro.
it's
We
a
we
natural.
I was that was the heaviest I've ever smoked when I first was fucking trying to get off of
Pretty
everything.
sick.
It was
Mhm.
bro, the
And
most. Like I was eating fucking shit. My dad got
yeah,
me Rick Simpson oil. I'm fucking doing all of it, bro. I'm fucking smoking a vape. I'm hitting dabs, all of it.
yeah. And
That's good
so,
stuff.
you know, from being on the in the system and on the probation, like I couldn't smoke the weed, so like, I drifted more towards like drinking alcohol. Was, alcohol is one of the worst. I think that's a gateway to, doing so many other things and making so many bad decisions that you normally wouldn't make. It's definitely one that's always been around that, it's just one that just leads to negative situations. That being said, I still, I can have a casual drink now and not want to wake up and continue to drink in the future, because I've figured out how to control myself, and be able to do that. But yeah, so I went through high school. I was in these programs. I had to go to like inpatient rehab, shoot, like three different times I've done inpatient rehab. One of the first times I went in, right before I went in, like a week before I went in, I got into, doing heroin. And, I only did that for like a week, but like when I was coming off of it in the inpatient rehab, like it almost killed me just because like my heart rate got so low and I got like the dope sickness like you were talking about. And so that, that was rough. Then I had to also go through like years of outpatient treatment where I would go to therapy for like 3 hours, 3 times a week, and then had to go to like 90 days of Narcotics Anonymous meetings in 90 days and all this. And, none of that stuff worked because I never really wanted to quit, deep down
All right.
inside. I was just going through the steps. And so, after that, I got back in, like I've always been, I was a big part of like the hippie scene with like Fish and the Grateful Dead. And, they're all about partying for months on end, going on tour and doing all this. And, pretty much anything's fair game, like there's just, so that between that and like going to rave parties and all that, like there was just never a time where, there wasn't something to do. But yeah, like so I battled with, all the big things, but like, there's a real prevalence of like cocaine that goes around all over our country, and it's like it's almost more social than drinking. And so that, it's really sad to see it transpire. And I unfortunately fell victim to that for a while. And it was really a difficult one to deal with. And then like I'd mentioned to you, I'd suffered from some injuries. And so I started, doing the pain medication like the Oxycontin. And they just became incredibly addictive, because like you start doing more and more of them. And then like if you don't have them, you feel just ill from you know, from not having them. And then, yeah, when you come off of them, you have to experience like a week of like just sickness. It's a rough process to deal with.
That's flu-like symptoms, but you know,
Yeah,
we won't get
flu-like
into all
symptoms.
that shit.
And
You know,
and so, you
terrain
know,
theory over germ theory, just saying.
I'd be screwed if I was running around dope sick nowadays, dude. You can't tell people they're not wearing a mask when you're like sniffling and like throwing up and
Right,
shit.
exactly.
right.
Yeah. No, yeah,
They're
yeah,
gonna
it's a
think
rough.
you got. They're gonna think you got COVID, and then there you go.
Yeah.
They're gonna fight, yeah,
It's like, no, I'm dope sick. I swear I'm dope sick. No,
yeah.
no.
Who's gonna fight about it? You know, you're not gonna win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real. That's real. But yeah, man. I mean, you know, I've never had a problem with alcohol, but I never really had a problem with anything until I got in with pills. And then the only reason I did meth was because I was dope sick and I couldn't find no fucking pills. I couldn't find no heroin, no H. And you know, it's like, damn. And
That's the
then
same thing with me. That's exactly how I tried it for the first time.
yeah. It's like, and then the dude who's with me, he's telling me, he's like, bro, it helps with your withdrawals and shit. And that, you know, like my skin's crawling, like, oh, you want to like rip your face off and like, oh, dude, give me that shit. Let's do it, you know?
Yeah, dude,
And
you'll take anything, man. You take a
yeah. And that's what started it, you know? And then it was like, that chase was insane, bro, because I was smoking that shit. And I lost so much weight. I got down to like 140 pounds. Yeah, and it was fucking crazy. It took over everything. Like, and it was like every day I wanted a cocktail. Like, it's nuts, bro. It's insane to even talk about it. I can't believe I'm sorry, my boys are. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
Sorry.
good, man.
You used
um.
to like combining
Oh
different
man,
things?
dude, I would do cocktails of it. You know, like I'd snort heroin with Xanax, and then Roxy's with Xanax or whatever. You know, it started with me just eating them, and then you know, someone teaches you how to snort them, and then you start snorting them. You know, and then you're playing this game of chasing shit every fucking day. You know, the goal is to chase them. You know, we got to get it. You know, I got to get that shit. You know, like
Yeah.
it consumed everything. You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn my
Yeah.
mic gain
And
down while I'm talking.
Well,
yeah,
let
it's
me
really.
ask. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, you're saying, you're chasing every day, and that's just it's a sad existence to have, because especially when you do sober up and you get clean and you look at all that, what you were like then, and you reflect on it, like it's really just, it's a hard process to have to look at your past self and come to terms with, that you were living in that low frequency for so long. And
Yeah, and the whole time it's like I know, like I would fight with myself. Like, dude, I'm better than this shit. Like, I would be battling with myself all the time, like comparing myself to other junkies and stuff like that. Like, dude, I'm so better than all these people around me. Like, what am I doing with myself? You know, just constantly beating myself up, and then I would avoid other people. Like, dude, my mic is tripping right now. I would avoid like people because like I knew what I was doing, you know. I would lie, but I knew what I was fucking doing. I knew what I was doing. And so when someone would want to bring it up to me, like, bro, don't fucking tell me. I know what kind of piece of shit I am. You know what I mean? That's like
Right.
right now, I'm not even worried about if there was a troll or, oh my gosh, are you worried about people trolling your channel because you're putting this? I don't care. I already know what kind of piece of shit I was. I don't give a damn what anybody got to say about me. Like I've been through it to me, like, and in the process it like took losing my fucking mom to actually like man the fuck up, and like it fucked me up, you know. And I wish I could go back and change all that, but I can't, you know. And I had to use that as fire to get my shit straight, you know. And it's not about like any type of pity party or anything. That's just what happened. That's how it happened, you know. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I'm going with that. It's
No,
just a fucking roller coaster. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, the same exact thing happened with my dad. I I left to go to Texas when I was 20 because I wanted to I grew up in Connecticut, and I wanted to get out of just people, places, things, and it's like your subconscious when you're in an area where you've been high in that area for 5 to 10 years every day, and then you get clean successfully, and then you go back into that. There's something like not right, because that's the only thing that you don't have, like, within that environment. And so, like, I was a big believer of that, and so I went to Texas with this dude I met playing in a church band, and because I was always trying to do better. I always knew I was screwing up, and like that was the reason I went to Texas, was to get away from shit. But I also knew if I kept using, like, everyone would be a lot further away from me, and that I cared about, and they wouldn't have to deal with it as much. But so I got clean for a couple years, and then I came back and like relapsed like immediately, just for that reason, the people, places, things. And then I stopped talking to my father. He was on Vicodin since I was 4 years old, for a surgery, and he was a landscaper, and he worked for one of his customers was a pharmacist. So that was how he maintained. And he was just like, and I didn't know this, that it can really turn you into like the most miserable person in the world. Like just shitty about everything. Everything irritates you. Everything frustrates you. Everything annoys you. And so growing up with a father like that, it's weird. Like I had a complex, and then when right before he died, like I stopped talking to him for months because I relapsed. And same thing what you said, like people telling you what you already know, and it's just like you don't want to fucking hear it, and you're suppressing what you're doing just to continue doing it. And that right there shows that you're not in control. But so when my dad died, I hadn't been talking to him for months. So and he was only 58 and I was 23, and it really fucked me up. But that, I use that. I don't even think it's fucked up. I just think it's part of the story at this point. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I'm almost wondering, because now with grounded extracts and everything, like, the only reason I can do what I do and as quick as I put it together is only because I did drugs for 10 years. Like I transferred it into the natural.
It's like a nexus point in your life. Like that is not saying that that's what you want to, like, I'm not saying that's what you like present to people or anything, but you personally, that like you wouldn't be where you are if it wasn't for your trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? Like you got here because of that. You know what I mean? You got same thing with me. You know? Yeah.
I wouldn't have a reason to stop. Go on. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. I just want to say I'm sorry for the loss of your dad, dude. That really sucks. I lost both my parents. I just lost my dad. And shout out to Alex Stein, just lost his mom, dude. That is fucking terrible, dude. Yep. I reached out to him, maybe someday in the future we'll get him on the show. But that's not the right time to bring up. So, but shout out to him, man. I reached out. I showed him love. He I see it in his face, man. They awoken a beast. They awoken a beast.
Yeah, you recognize it, right?
Like, yeah, absolutely.
Recognize what you're seeing, because, dude, I cracked a tear listening to him too. Open his show.
Yeah, absolutely. I did too.
You remember that vibe, right?
Yeah, I was right there with them, man. Like right there with them, experiencing that pain with them. I was. It had me fucked up.
Yeah.
Shout out. The day my mom. So when my mom, because she was sick and shit, right, and she wanted to go home, and she went home, but I was like too ashamed to go. Like I wanted to go and see her because I knew she wasn't gonna stick around longer. She wanted to go home to die. So, but I didn't fucking go, dude. And it fucks me up, right? And like the next morning, my dad called. And like, so before this call, like I had like, wherever I was in the car, fucked up or not, my mom was on my mind, right? But I was like too much of a coward because of the whole junkie shit me be like fucking up. But I would like mentally prepare myself whenever I was driving for that call. Like I know I'm gonna get the call that my mom's dead, right?
Yep.
Gone. And like I'm mentally preparing myself for it. And it's like, yo, I got this. I know what, like I'll be able to, it won't catch me off guard. I won't let it catch me off guard. Well, that next morning it's like 8 in the morning. And my son's already up and I'm laying in bed. I'm like just getting up and the phone rings and I answer and it's my dad. And he tells me, and I lose it. And my oldest son, I love my son. He was like, he came up and he came up like this. He was standing on the bed and he put his arm around me. He's like, "It's okay, Dad. Mama's in a better place. It's okay, Dad." Like, you know, so those things, like, I wish I could fix, but now I don't. And it's kind of fucked up to say, but all this shit adds up and has created what I am now, you know what I mean? And I love who I am now. I fucking love me. I fucking
Yeah,
love
man.
me and my family,
Yeah.
bro. And I love all of this,
Oh, we love
you
you
know?
too.
So
Isn't it good to be able to
it's
say
fucked.
that?
Yeah, I don't get to say this to people. So this is therapy for me. Just saying this. You know, I said it to my wife like this. And of course she consoled me and stuff, but yeah, it's
It like rips your heart in half,
yeah,
just completely,
yeah.
just obliterates you, dude. I totally feel you, man. And
Yeah,
so
but
drugs are a lot easier to keep doing after something like that. So it's really
oh
fucking cool
yeah, dude,
that
it
you
lit
choose
a
this
fire
avenue.
under me, bro. It lit a
Yeah,
motherfucking fire, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
like it was to the point like and my wife seen it. Like she knew. Like I told her. I said, if you don't do what you're gonna do with me, you will not have your family. Like I promise you, I am done with this life forever, dude. And she knew it was time to put up or shut up. And thank God that she came with me. Thank God, dude. Like, yeah, everything worked out.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was great.
a lot of the
That's
things
awesome.
that you're describing were necessary to get you to a point like it's like elements of your ego are being shed, with all of this. And everyone would attest to the fact that the biggest impasse that people have to the truth is their ego standing in the way, right? And so it's like all of these events that have humiliated you or deflated you,
Oh yeah.
or it's all like basically getting you, and that's why rock
Sorry,
bottom,
guys.
you drop your ego at rock bottom, right? So it's a
Yeah,
bad,
Right.
it's a hard
right.
place to be at, but you've actually gotten to a point where
It
the
humbles
ego
you.
has been
It
dropped, and
fucking
that's like
humbles
where
you.
you can actually start to see some light shine in, it's
Yeah, man.
like that's where the truth can come through. Like all these people have so much of a hard time admitting that they've been deceived in all of this world that we've been born into, and it's like it's the ego is standing in the way. And until something happens and that cracks them open and drops that ego, that they won't see any of it. They won't see
Yeah,
9/11, they won't see the moon landing, they won't see COVID, they won't see any of it, because they believe in their mind, that the ego is telling them that, they're right about stuff, and not to pursue any other avenues than what's been put in their head, or question the path that they're on. It won't allow them to do that. The ego is just, ferocious,
isn't
and
it funny how that
it's
works?
a
Like,
beast.
isn't that funny? Like the oh, I completely lost my train of thought. Never mind, never mind.
So,
Yeah,
I
Happens,
mean, that's
bro.
one of the things that I was asking about before, like whether you guys were really truthers prior to all of these stories, and really the addiction was kind of making up for your inherent distrust in the universe that you've been placed in. But there does seem to be a connection with people that hit rock bottom, and or something big happening in their life in a way that it allows them to look at something like the world being flat, or look at being lied to, and being look at the trap that you've been ensnared in. A lot of smokers of cigarettes and stuff like that, they'll say, like, after a little while, they'll be like, this is such a trap that I'm in,
Bro, I'm
and
in a trap right now.
it's put up
All
by
I
the
did was replace cigarettes for this. I want to quit this right now. Like, I don't even want to
yeah.
hit this shit no more.
What
So
is
that's
that?
my next goal. Like, I'm constantly working. Like, this
What
isn't
is that?
like I'm chilling. This is the sugar cookies, bro.
Sugar cookies? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't eat,
First.
yeah, I don't want to smoke it no more. But,
Well,
I'm
especially too.
constantly working on shit. Like, I'm still battling everything every day. It's not as bad as it was. Like, some people make it out to be like it's a real struggle, but it hasn't been a struggle for me as much, I guess, because of what I've been building. I love now. I'm like addicted to that. You know what I mean? I don't even know where I'm going with that, but yeah, it's you bring up the cigarettes. I was hooked on cigarettes. I smoked a pack of Newports, if not more, a day. Especially when I was high. Well, I was chain smoking one after the other, doing you don't want to know. So, yeah, it's I do think
Same
there
here,
is a
man.
connection though. There's a big connection between I don't even want to call it truther or critically thinking, because I was not critically thinking when I was all junked the fuck out. But I have always had this question. I have always had this question of where are we in the universe type shit. Like, I've always wanted to know what was really going on. You know what I mean? And I I don't know how to correlate the two. I just know. Oh my god, my mic, man. Fuck. Sorry, guys. This is distracting me.
Yeah.
But oh man, dude, I wish we could get Jeremy to stay on long enough to explain his story. He has a pretty awesome fucking story. But yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't
Yeah, you
know
mentioned.
how to core. I know a lot of us in this community has had trauma, and all those things. I don't. There is a lot of us that had. I guess there is some type of connection. I mean, how many of you, when before you were on drugs, were asking yourself these type of questions like, what's the purpose of life, or where are we in the universe, or what's really going, like, or did you have a fascination of that type of stuff, or the cosmology or anything, like, because I did. I feel like I always did. I was always dabbling, whether it was like what you would call religion now, but it was always like a journey to find out, like, about my soul or something, or like I was always wondering about that. So do you guys?
Well, see,
Yeah, man.
I've always curious, about uh what happened after we died, and even as a kid, I had this big interest in like the ancient architecture, like the megalithic structures, like Machu Picchu. Because I mean, even as a kid, I could realize then, like, well, they say that we got stupider the farther back we did. How did they do that when we can't do this today? But I mean, as far as a truther, I'd never say that I was a truther, but I'll
Wow.
No.
Bummer.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but I don't know.
So when my dad died of prostate cancer, it was something that illuminated how fucked the whole system was that he was trapped in. Like, prior to him passing, I didn't really put the dots together of like how the system worked. And that was a big awakening for me to see the path that my dad went down, and all of the way that all the doctors were handling him, and specialists and stuff like that. when in reality he had something very survivable. It was something that, and he was being measured on a scale that's no longer used because they deemed it irrelevant. So all of the his passing was basically lack of knowledge to
Yeah.
see, you know, to see through the deceptions, and I started to see,
Yeah, same thing with my
uh
parents, bro.
Yeah.
and it shaped me in a way that I never wanted to really be a part of anything. And it kind of sucks because my oldest brother, not my oldest brother, but one of my older brothers is a doctor, so it's kind of tough in the family because he will talk about all of the Western medicine stuff. He'll talk about viruses, he'll talk about transmission and vaccinations and everything like that. He's a great emergency room doctor, and what he does is also pretty cool with oxygen. He does a lot of treatments of wounds and stuff with pressure and oxygen in a hyperbaric chamber, which is kind of a great way to heal a lot of things in your body, actually pushing pure oxygen through your cells. And I think that's great, but he still has the all of the med school training in him, and it's challenging, because he made a lot of choices probably for my dad. My dad was kind of like asking him a lot of questions, and I'm sure my dad ended up getting just the basic doctor stuff that at the time they were espousing, a PSA test that they were doing, which turns out to be irrelevant. But everything was going up, down, up, down, up, down. And my dad's basic hope in life was doing the same thing. It was going up, down. He had hope. He was joyful. His life was good. And then they would give him a bad reading. And then he'd be down for like 2 weeks, trying all kinds of different things,
That's
calling
exactly what my
specialists.
dad was
And then
going through, bro. Like, wow, bro. Like
what
his whole attitude would be based off what they tell him, man.
I know. And that's the thing. People are being told stuff, and they're letting that shape their lives, when in reality these things, if you don't see through this bullshit these days, it's gonna shorten your life. It's gonna uh lead you down really bad paths if you can't question the uh the system, the medical system that we're all born into. It is just black magic, a lot of it, and it's these chemicals, that are, they know about the side effects. You know they've known about all of these different techniques and stuff for a long time, and that's why I think all of this is weaponized. You look at crack and you see the government's
Absolutely,
connected with
dude.
crack.
Yeah, the
and,
war,
and
the whole war on drugs is manufactured. Like every fucking bit of it. None of it is organic at all. At
Yeah,
all.
and that's something that should make you, as someone who wants to be a sovereign individual, not want anything to do with any of these substances. Like, you look at even through like the past couple years when everybody's been locked down and whatnot. Like, it hasn't stopped the mass flow of drugs coming into the cities. Like they want the people to have this stuff. Because it suppresses your soul and your spirit and your ability to rise above. And I think you can only get so far with the substances, but in order to really burst through the ceiling, you have to let go of all that stuff and really be sober in your mind and body and spirit. And yeah, it's definitely, it makes me definitely not want anything to do with this stuff, because they put it in, they're the ones, the government and the controllers, they're the ones putting it out there and supplying it.
Dude, half the time it was like, yeah, I was getting like high and shit, like for like the first couple years, I guess, but the rest of that was just like misery, bro. Like, it was pure
It is.
misery, dude.
Yeah, it's a miserable existence.
You
It
know,
really is.
I was
And like,
getting by. I was trying to survive, like day to day, day by day, and then with a child, and you know, it was insane.
So, do y'all think that the harder core drugs, like say meth and heroin, do y'all think that that opens you up to portals for like negative
The
spiritual
demons.
Yeah,
influences?
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen
Absolutely,
it
bro.
here in Portland, you know, firsthand. Like you see all the homeless population and all the, you know, the tweakers. I gave them a new nickname as the Gackmans. They're like a family, and they all are part of the same family. It's the Gackman family, and pretty much once you start consuming the especially the meth, and the heroin, you know, like they both just strip your soul away, and you're overcome. I think by this dark demonic entity, you know, that pretty much captures them all, and they're totally just a shell of themselves. It's like the real life zombie apocalypse, except like
I'll
these
tell you what
people.
it was like.
Yep.
I'll tell you. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what it was like.
Yeah,
It
man.
fucking changes you. I was a completely different fucking person. I was not the same person. I was a fucked up individual. It
Yeah,
definitely
dude.
changes you. You
Same
know,
here.
like it could possibly very. Oh my god, my mic, dude. Hold on. Yeah, it's definitely demonic. Could very well be demonic. Can y'all hear
Dude,
me?
your mic's demonic.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Clogged.
But can you hear me right
Oh,
now?
yeah. It was
Yeah.
really low.
It's
Yeah.
okay right now.
Yeah.
All right. It's tripping because they can hear them all in the fucking background. So it's like picking it up and then turning the mic all the way up.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah, it
has.
absolutely changes you. It changes you, man. It makes you a very bad person. You know,
It
it
does. I
takes
mean,
over.
people they steal from their family members. You know, like no one in your direct family can trust you any longer because, like, they, you know, they have no idea what you're about to do. You know, like you're a detriment to society. You go around and just like do all these unspeakable acts that you would never do if you weren't consuming those substances. And the thing is, like, you're so gone, your sense of morality is diminished to where it's like you don't care that you're doing these things. Like you've lost all pretty much control of your consciousness at that point.
I think you care, but I think you suppress it. Like I think that it just overrides you, and you suppress it because then every single moment that you should have cared comes back when you're not using, or like when you come off shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no,
if
not,
you
and that's where, you know, like there is hope for everyone. I mean, you know, like,
It's
you
like an
know, like,
emotional roller coaster, bro. Like
yeah,
all that shit comes back to you.
and your body, it wants to heal from these things. You know, it wants to recover, it wants to detoxify. And so, you know, once you go on that path and you do that, you know, you can heal. You know, I have high hopes on for anyone who's going through addiction, you know, because it's just it's seems a lot harder to overcome than it actually is, and you feel a lot better once you actually achieve, you know, a recovery. You know, and that being said, you know, like addiction is something you deal with your whole life. It's not just something that, you know, like you conquer and then you sweep it. You know, I'm confident that I will not relapse, but you know, it's never, you know, off the table. It's never, you know, it's always a threat out there that you have to be aware of, you know, and be conscious of. But you know, the stronger and more convicted you get with your spiritual self and whatnot, the less you desire those things, you know, and want nothing to do with them.
let me ask you
Um,
this. You know, we're born into this fucked up world, you know, and it's it's a messed up place that when an addiction kicks in, it gets even more messed up. And I'm wondering if, like, in a way, there's kind of a giving into basically just not caring about things because of the state of the world around you, and you realize that there's no point in doing anything. There's just kind of a hopelessness that you see in the world around you, which is
It
all which is all manufactured, right?
it is, yeah.
And
It's a victim mentality, a victim narrative, and if you start feeling sorry for yourself, like, oh, why did God put me here, and why is all this stuff happening around me, and just wanting to check out, which it's easy to do that, but that's not what we're intended to do.
I'm just, yeah, that, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm just, uh, sometimes,
Being
as an
addicted is like
example,
it's so like I
when
don't
my
even
kids are
relate
arguing,
to. Sorry,
what's
go
that?
ahead. Go
When
ahead.
my kids are arguing, sometimes I'll come in and just like be like, you know what, you wanna argue, you wanna get loud, I'll get loud, right? And it's just like I feel like, uh, I I feel like, it I just wanna kind of like, if the world's bad, then like I'll I'll show you how bad, I can get here, and it's like, almost, trying to, you know, trying to kind of, be even badder than the world that you're in, and to yourself, if the world's gonna be bad to me, then, I'm gonna amp it up, and I'm just gonna be super bad to me.
I
And
haven't even seen how ugly the world was until I got junked the fuck out. And then you're like trapped in a glass box. It's like you know how to get the fuck out, but you can't get out.
yeah,
There's ways out, but you won't go do it. It's like Buddha said it on his stream. It's like a loop, like a time loop almost, where you wake up and you do the same fucking thing every day, like a Groundhog's Day effect. It's the same fucking thing every day. You wake up and you got to get that fixed. Where's it at? We're not gonna come back here till we find it. I ain't fucking going to work.
and
Whatever.
and if
It.
you see, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
If
Jeremy,
you
you're having
see
a
that,
hard time, brother.
I am.
This sucks. It's all
yeah,
good though.
if you see the addicts who you've known and grown up with, and they're still addicted to the substances, and you look at their lives, they haven't changed one bit, since they were started their addiction. They're still in that process, and from the outside looking in, you can really see how miserable of an existence it is, to be stuck in that routine on a daily basis. It's just such a painful thing to live through, and it's all a mental thing. It's all up here, like once you overcome and take power over your mind, and tell yourself that you're bigger, you're better than this, you have the ability to change yourself and to put a stop to it at any time you want.
Yeah, it's
And
not. I wouldn't say it's all mental. There
no, I
is
mean,
and
you have to go through physical pain, especially when you're going through detox, and
right.
you get sick and stuff. But it's like
I get it.
there's
Absolutely.
nothing in this world that that isn't pure and good, that doesn't you don't go through pain to get there.
Right.
Everything's a painful process,
So,
and
like Suboxone and methadone is like can be like depending on how long you take that shit, like a year of physical withdrawal. So that's why I can't stress Iboga enough, like that, because a year of physical withdrawals is kind of why people don't usually get off.
Bro, yeah, I didn't use that. I
yeah,
wish I did though. The way you explained it is fucking amazing. I didn't.
yeah,
Never
that does sound
heard.
pretty badass.
But I
You
used
know, have you
you sent me
taken and
some kratom. Kratom. I used kratom,
yeah, dude.
and that dude,
I
there's a
use
lot of
Kratom
things
as
out
well.
there. You did?
That's
Yeah.
the
Kratom
Kratom
helped
gets a
me.
bad rap. Kratom gets a bad rap, but I think that's that all started from pharmaceutical companies he's cutting in on their
Oh
corner.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Uh,
But I'm gonna
yeah,
say this though. I'm gonna say this. Now, Suboxone, things like methadone, yeah, those are complete substance that you have to also get off of. But if I didn't, I'd started with the Suboxone. So that started
it's
my
a good
journey.
stepping
You know what I
stone.
mean?
It's a
It
good tool.
definitely
Yeah,
helped. It
yeah,
definitely helped me.
yeah,
Thank goodness it was there when it was. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude.
Now, there's
I
people
worked
who
for
take
New York
advantage of
State
that
for
system.
4 years.
I witnessed people, sorry, brother, I witnessed people take
No, you're
advantage
good.
of that system,
Yeah, yeah,
within there because it's both. Like the clinic was both. It was methadone and a Suboxone in one. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can see the people that are just there for the fucking fix, bro.
Oh
But
yeah,
there's also people there who I flat smack. There's a couple I'm still friends with who were there for the same reasons as me, you know.
yeah, dude.
So it does help people. Again, people who
Oh
are
yeah.
not using it for the right reasons. Again, but
And
yeah,
No, they
it
help you go
led
to
to
work
that.
every day for like
But they are just as bad.
5
Like
years.
you can
Bro.
OD and die on those. You can die on those
Oh, dude,
things.
this shit's
Like
horrible. But it also drops your testosterone to like zero. Mad people have serotonin syndrome. They don't even know it. Dude, this shit is so fucking bad for you. It's so
yeah.
fucking bad for you.
I want to
Oh
shout
yeah.
out to the people in the chat too. Like I've seen numerous people in the chat that have mentioned that they've
Oh my
lost
gosh, yes.
family members to substance abuses. Michelle Waldo just mentioned she had
Oh,
Yes,
lost.
I'm so
much love.
sorry.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I
Yeah,
just read that. And also Kelly lost her son. And I'm
yeah,
so
and
sorry.
yeah, my heart goes out to everyone who's lost, and that's why this whole thing is so personal for all of us. Because this.
I also just dropped the link in the chat for anybody who wants to jump on. There's quite a bit of people asking, so I think
Yeah.
we might hear a story or two from somebody
Yeah,
Hey,
if
would
they
y'all
want
mind if
to.
I took a
this is a
second and said,
weaponized attack upon our society. Like this is like, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
What's up,
don't get.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
oh, I was just going to say,
Damn, I knew we was about to
Nice.
lose him
Yeah.
as soon as I had a feeling, man. Fuck.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, like, like with the meth epidemic, like, and that's the thing too, like the new meth that's out. I just read an article that it's like way more synthetic and more dangerous than the old stuff that they used to make in the little barns and stuff. Now it's like all coming from Mexico or whatever, and it's just a whole different demon that
That shit coming from Polk County, dog.
uh, and you see it when you go through rural communities that used to be just blossoming, beautiful, small towns. Now they're just decimated, one after another. Just and you can tell that the men just went through and just ravaged that and just ripped through,
Oh yeah.
and and that's why it's sad. We're dealing with an attack from and it's a targeted attack that is quite intentional. The many ways that the controllers try to break down our family structure, and
Absolutely, man.
our
And then
more
they
sense
do
of
it,
morality.
right? They do it, and then they make a fucking show up. No, they do it. Then someone writes a book, and then they make a fucking show about it, and then here we are
Mm-hmm.
watching this show about how crooked the FDA is and all this shit, and then all the while here we are in this world, and it's like, what is going on, dude? These people are dumb.
Yeah.
Like, but Jeremy, what do you got?
Yeah.
I want to hear what you got to say before you get booted off again.
oh man, I want to see if y'all minded if I just said a real quick prayer for, all the people in the chat real quick, man.
Yeah.
All right. Father, I just want to say thank you for putting me in the paths of these people and just say thank you for all the blessings in our lives. And I pray that you just touch the hearts of the people that's hurting right now, Father. And I pray that you just lift them up, ease their pain, because I know how much it hurts to lose a loved one. And I just thank you for this opportunity to share our experiences. And I pray that you help us be a light in somebody else's life to maybe help them to see this isn't a lifelong thing that they have to go through. And through the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Sure.
Thanks, man.
Nice, bro. Nice.
Yeah, man.
It just touched my heart when I heard all those people that just lost in the chat, because I know how painful that is. And
It is very painful, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. Much
So
love
none
to
necessary
everybody. Thank you
loss,
everyone
right?
for being here. We got 84 people here, dude. Like, and all of you are fucking awesome. Like, I've been reading the chat. It's great energy as always, man. I'm really happy, you know. I think this is great. This is going great. And we got a guest. Oh shit, what happened to Rasta? We got a guest. All right. What's up, Scott?
Scott.
Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Scott. Yo, yo, yo.
Hello. Hello.
Scott, we hear you.
Yep,
You
we
hear
hear
me
you.
now, right?
Yep.
I was
Yo.
muted. I got my headphone muted. What's up, brothers? I said, what's up? And by the way, Jeremy, he's back on, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Florida, and I had lots of friends that died from opiates and stuff like that. But the thing is, though, with this, the truth community, like I used to do a show, which is so crazy. Austin, you there, Austin? Is Austin there? Hello,
Austin.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was just
I've been
muted,
wanting
but
to
I'm
call.
listening.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while now. I mean, I've heard of many people in the truth community talk about you guys, and you guys made your show and everything. But like I used to do a show with a friend of mine that both of his parents died, and I also did a show with a friend of mine that both of his parents died when he was young, and then he just died actually from meth complications. He had a problem, and then he got clean, and then he died. But the thing is, and that's the thing, like about this. I mean, I don't know exactly, and I know a lot of people I've seen in the chat, and I think Christian, you never did any hardcore stuff, huh?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you know, and that's awesome, and praise God for that.
He's squeaky
Praise God.
clean. Yeah.
No, he's
Oh,
not.
yeah. No,
I
I'm just
mean,
picking on him. I'm just picking on him.
There were
no,
pills,
it's
over the
you can't.
counter stuff that was pretty addictive. I don't know
Christian's
about like.
a man,
Oh,
bro. He's awesome.
Do you
Christian
remember
got addicted.
GNC used to sell big bottles of ephedra that would get you
Yeah,
all
dude. I used
jacked
to
up?
do a Federal. Dude, I used to do that to drive like 7 hours from Tallahassee
Like trucker
to
fuel, and
yeah.
I used to
That
buy the big
Bro,
bottle every now
you
and
were
then.
that's
doing
like
you were doing the cheap meth. You're
no,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Cheap crank. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that you could get like a 2-pound bottle of those at GNC
Yep.
for nothing?
Yep. Oh, well, I
And
didn't do that. We just used to get them from remember the gas station. You get like 4 packs of those and then just pop them, and then
yeah.
your hair would feel like it was gonna fall off. Anyway, the point is though, is like I mean, yeah, I'm talking about like hardcore, like Austin. I mean, dude, I grew up in Florida, Tampa, and like I had for real a lot of friends that got when when oxys were prevalent. Remember the pill mills? We're
oh
talking,
yeah, yeah.
what, 15 years ago. Not exactly how old are you, but how old? It doesn't matter. How old are you,
I'm
Austin?
33. I was here.
You're
I
only
was
33
doing all those drugs right when
when you were
they started
young.
shutting those pill mills down. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, you're okay. So you're 30. I'm 44.
And then they
So,
filled the vacuum with heroin,
yep, I know.
and
That's what they
everyone
did,
started fucking dying, dude.
bro.
Everybody.
I know. Well,
It
my
was
friends
fucked
started.
up.
Yeah, bro. I was in the middle. I never did. I did the cocaine, the chachi. I did that, and I mean, obviously a bunch of other stuff back in the day, like
Right.
rolls, and trolling and like you
Yep.
said, cocktails. But I'm talking about in the '90s, though. You know what I mean? The late '90s.
Uh-huh. Right.
But the same thing. Chasing the dragon, like I said. But all that, but getting out of it, though. Like we got out of it. And my friend, and one of my best truther friends, actually my best friend, was on the opiates, and he got off of them, and he found in my opinion, like you said, we're not trying to make it a AA meeting, but I do think that, like, knowing the truth is from our Creator. And you can call him Jah, you can call him Yah, you can call him whatever you want, really want whatever you want, right? But our Creator is who pulled us out. He pulled us out of it, right? I mean, anybody that I'm sure.
Yeah, I
anybody
agree.
That,
I agree that all this leads back to the Creator. I believe I was.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of fucked up to say because of my mom and everything, but she also chose all those consequences, and it led to her own demise of not being educated, and all that. All those things add up at the same time. But it's like all these things happened the way maybe they're supposed to, or something.
For a reason. Yes, bro.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you that too. Like,
right.
Don't feel that regret. I'm not telling you don't. I'm saying we shouldn't feel regret for that kind of thing. My mom was in a hospital. My parents are still alive, but my mom was in a hospital, and I didn't want to even go see her. And I totally get that feeling, especially when you were using, whatever you want to call it, being a, like, quote unquote junkie or whatever. You weren't in the right mind frame, dude. Bro, honestly, bro, I see you with your children, man. It's awesome, bro. And by the way, like, you guys made me really regret, and Rasta too, man. You guys, you three. I don't know if I can't see it. I have a phone. If what's his name? Grounded Extracts.
He was there.
Were you there too? Oh yeah. See,
yeah.
I didn't want to go. I didn't go. It's only 3 hours, right, from me. I could have just driven down there.
Went, right? Dog.
I know, but listen. I didn't know if I went by myself. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a by myself kind of person, but I just didn't, like, my girlfriend couldn't come, so I was like, yeah, I regret it now. And by the way, like I just said, don't regret. But dude, you guys seem like awesome people, and you guys are awesome people.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Like, for real, like, and
yeah, man.
That's what Oktoberfest was. It was just like all these awesome people.
It was.
Yeah, it was like-minded people that you don't get to see every day. You know what I mean?
And everyone's got amazing stories, because, like, the path to getting to Flattoberfest and your mind, getting getting to the truth and everything like that has been an adventure for every single person there. And there was just so much that everyone found in common, dealing with their family members, and the flat smacking that took place was amazing. Just the whole town was basically getting flat smacked, the restaurant.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was
and the
great.
chalk was awesome. The one that brought the chalk.
We were doing bucket bongs in the parking lot.
Yeah, I know.
Of the police department.
I heard.
No, Eric. Eric brought the chalk.
But yeah, that's awesome. I heard,
and he handed it to me he had me pass it out around everybody.
That's right.
And then my son, they all started busting out, bro. And then you could walk from the, like, we're walking to and from the hotel in the event, right? Well, you get on the one side of the road and you're walking towards the event, you see Earth is flat, and then you go down further and it's like
it's still flat.
Earth is still flat.
Yeah.
It's like,
did you hear Zach?
The people next door from the actual event, they came outside and they washed all the shit off. They washed the flat Earth off.
Oh, really?
Like on their sidewalk part, like some little pricks, but it's all good.
Triggered. They got triggered.
It's not flat.
But they're gonna wash off the Black Lives Matter shit in the fucking road, right?
I know, dude. That's ridiculous, dude. That was a ridiculous. That's all ridiculous, but
yeah, it was great though, man. You got to come to the next one, bro. It's
it'll be
fantastic.
Solar return.
3 hours away, dude. Come on. You got.
I know. Make fun. You got to flash it. Yeah. Shame me. Yeah. You got to shame me. It's true though. It's true though, man. I drive down the mountain, down from up here, down to, Statesville, which is only like an hour from there or whatever, but just to work. But yeah, Rasta, your little level thing, that was pretty cool. 20 minutes straight of level, huh?
Wasn't it? Yeah, I thought it was fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
I mean,
I was happy to do that, and I was really delighted that it turned out so well, because it's pretty undisputable.
Do you understand? Like, Well, yeah, it's because the thing is, what it would do is, if the nose was believe me, I'm a construction guy. I do construction. I got plenty of levels, right? And I got big.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little pocket level. It doesn't matter because the bubble
Yeah.
is what matters. The bubble is what matters, right? So if you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, if the nose is constantly turning down, then you would see that bubble on the left, on what it doesn't matter which side, on the back side, right? To
Yeah.
the bubble would go towards the line. We call it, it's like we call it dead nuts on, right? You're dead
Yeah.
nuts on, and
Dead
that's what you were,
balls.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I say at
Yeah.
work when I'm like dead balls
What
on
is
my
it?
cash register. I
Yeah,
say
dead
dead
balls. Yeah,
balls.
dead nuts. It's the same thing, nuts and balls. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it would lean towards away from the nose pointing down, but it didn't,
Mm-hmm.
did it? It didn't,
No,
did it?
not at all. If
You know what
anything,
I'm
it
saying?
30
leaned the
minutes
other way,
straight.
which would indicate that the nose was lifting up every once in a while.
Because that's how the planes fly. They're getting air under them. So, it's kind of like.
Well, yeah, it should actually be. Yeah,
definitely no dip down, and that's like,
no, there's
yeah,
not.
and yeah. So I really think, like more people whenever you fly, it's a great conversation piece too. I was hoping that, one of the people in the rows, would look over and be like,
Yeah.
what is that you're doing? But then I think that they realized what I was doing and didn't want to comment on it because like they saw that it was
I would
level.
have, dude, if I was in that plane, I'd be like, look, y'all, 20 minutes straight. 20
Yeah.
minutes straight, dog. Like,
Yeah, right.
it's flat. It's fucking flat. They're like,
Yeah.
sir, sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm just saying. It's flat,
You know, you
guys.
just said though, Rasta. You know, you just said though is like people don't want to see the truth. They don't want to see the truth.
Oh
And,
no.
like
Yeah.
like my mom was saying this the other night. I'm like, Mom, you're totally right. She's like, they don't want to know the truth. I'm like, you're totally right. And you know what? And that's why we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry too much about that because we have people like us and a lot of people, obviously in the chat. I'm sure there 80 people in there. We want to see the truth, and you know what?
Yeah.
And that's what we should be looking forward to is the fact that there's people that do want to see the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't have to worry about the ones that don't. You know what I
There
mean?
was 80
Yeah,
people, but RV went live, so we lost like.
RV's
Oh
live,
yeah,
huh?
that's gonna be a good matchup too. RV's been having some good matchups here lately, and so they pretty entertaining stuff.
It's all right though.
But
We
they'll
still got the
probably,
best here. We
his,
still got the
his
best
show
of
will
the best.
probably go for like 5 or 6 hours, so you'll still get to see plenty of it if you.
It's all right.
hang
I
out.
plan on leaving this
Yeah.
one up because
He'll go for
plan
3 or 4 hours.
yeah,
But
I plan on leaving
Austin,
this one up though.
Austin though, your show with what's his name? The Dos Real. Your
Brian?
awakening. Yeah, with Brian. Yeah. That was awesome. And by the way, it's what's funny
Thank you.
about Brian's State. I mean, dude, it's crazy how similar our lives were. Like for real. Like your sister was a basketball player.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My sister was too.
Yeah.
My
We
sister
were
was
big
like,
into basketball and horses.
dude, let me ask you a question. How old was your sister? Is your sister like 2 years older than you? So she's a little bit
she's
young.
10 years older than me.
Wait, whoa, wait,
My
10?
brother's 2 years younger than me.
Hold on, your sister was exactly the same age as my sister when my sister was like, oh, dude, that's crazy. I bet you they played together. I mean,
yeah?
not together, against each other. Did she do like
Where'd you grow up
AAU in St. Pete?
Oh yeah, no, I grew up in Indiana.
Oh, that's when she was in Indiana. Oh, okay, yeah.
She was in Indiana doing that. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, my sister was
I love
about
her.
to.
She was just over here today, man. We were talking about. I love her to death, man. Love her so much.
Yeah,
Did you say you played basketball on horses?
No.
What?
No.
Did you say you played basketball on horses?
No, I said our passions were
Christian
basketball and horses.
Christian is always trying to. He's always trying to like. Remember, Christian, where you're like when you were like talking about making a like you can take like a whole farm on a like on a riverboat.
Oh yeah,
like a riverboat farm. Like I'm like, dude, Christian, that's a good idea because you can take it to any atmosphere, or sun. You get the sunlight. You just drive your farm.
If you actually had a floating barge and you grew
Yes.
all your food on the floating barge. You could move
Yes.
the barge
Yes.
anywhere you wanted to, where to kind of follow the sun, and you just
Mm-hmm.
would coastally cruise down the coast so that your barge was
Yep.
always getting the optimal conditions and plus you're on a barge, things would probably grow really well because the wind would blow through and make the plants really hardy. Plus it
Yeah.
would be super fun to roll up into into
That's what I'm
some
saying.
kind of like marina on your barge, and it's basically like you're rolling in your garden, right? And
Mm-hmm.
everyone would be like, look at that guy lives in a garden,
That'd be awesome.
and it floats.
Well, yeah. Have you ever seen those? Like they make them out of like plastic bottles and stuff. Like those, like little. They literally do that.
Yeah, that's what my goal was, to actually make it all with recyclable plastic bottles, and then just
Yeah.
it
Have your
wouldn't
own
be
island.
licensed. It would be a big like football field size thing eventually, and then
Football field
people could.
size? Oh, you're getting a little.
Well, the thing is, it could be multiple
Crazy.
people that get connected. We're
That's a
getting
little
way off the
huge.
subject. I
Yeah.
still got a lot more to talk about with the question, but I could go on forever about the Bottle Island that I'm.
My point was that you're always thinking about like how to create you're putting inventive ideas together. That's all I was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way my head works, and that's probably why the ephedra was so enjoyable.
Dude,
I would go on
I
like
think the way your brain works and my brain work is like perfect for us to do
Yeah.
like this show together. Like
to
honestly,
make a
I think,
melodome.
yeah, I think
it's the Melodome right there.
Yeah.
we
Cool.
really vibe off each other, bounce off each other pretty well.
Yeah,
But,
nice.
I was big into driving, so I used to drive all over the place around the country and
That's what I do.
crisscross with friends and stuff like that. And there's nothing better than getting all jacked up on ephedra and just hitting the road.
no.
That's
Do not do that. Do not do that.
No,
Yeah, that's
like,
not good
is
for
there
you.
anything
It is
else?
not.
Anything else you want to get
I'm
out
good,
there?
man.
Or, all right, I'm gonna.
dude, I'm not saying that I do that now. I'm just saying, like,
No, I'm
back in
just
the
fucking
day,
with
that
you.
was like the
Just fucking with you, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna try and get somebody else hop on. Is that cool?
Peace.
Yeah,
Nice
Scott,
talking
thanks
to
so much for linking up here.
Nice talking to you, brothers.
Yeah, man. Thank
call
you.
in again, dude.
Peace.
Peace. Peace and love. So yeah, dude. James, we gotta hang out, bro.
Yeah, dude. Totally.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Iboga and stuff. I know people probably don't like hearing about I sound like a salesman, but it's just
Nah, man. Nah, matter of fact, plug it for me. This is Grounded Extracts right here, bro. Plug your shit right now.
groundedextracts.com.
Yeah, hey, hit it up, guys. A lot of good stuff.
So what I experienced on Iboga kind of helped me make grounded extracts, because the biggest epiphany I had on it, and it's obvious when you say it, but you kind of see it and experience it, and just get shown it in like 50 different metaphors on Iboga. But just that, I was a natural being, under the firmament, and I should be consuming the other natural life, under the firmament. And not to say that the shit made in the lab isn't made under the firmament, but you know what I mean. So it's like putting a plug into a wall from a different that doesn't fit, and you just jam it in there. Like that's what pharmaceuticals are, and it's like a fucked up voltage. And but natural, dude, it's just works in perfect harmony with your body. And then you realize, just because your life changes, like the way you talk, the way you think, you give a shit, your conscience is always there, like, and it freaks you out at first, but I think there's nothing wrong with herbal medicine. I think the ultimate goal is to get to optimum health without anything, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, it says right in the book of Genesis, that the Creator gave us all the herbs, for our benefit, So like all the herbs are here for our healing. They're our medicine. We're intended to appreciate them and use them for our,
Yeah.
Bad Fish Bear, what's up, brother?
yeah. What's up, Bad Fish Baron? Oh, he's frozen.
Yeah. Oh, and we lost him.
We got so many
Oh,
bears
here he is. He's back.
representing.
Hell yeah.
Never met Bad Fish
Bad
Bear.
Fish
What's
Bear,
up,
what's
brother?
up, bro?
You guys hear?
You're on. Yeah. Yeah, you're on.
Ah, cool. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was just trying it out. Sorry, I didn't mean to bug you guys.
No, you're good. Oh. Yeah, it's called a meteor.
Yeah, it works. What's up, brother? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, tell us
Christian,
some more
where
stories.
you at, man, bro?
I'm in a trailer.
Really? I don't mean that. I mean, what town?
Oh, in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
I'm in Salisbury, Massachusetts. Are you in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Is that where the steaks
Yeah,
are famous from?
What's that?
The
I think
Salisbury
you're
steak?
Are you in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm in Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury, nice.
Yeah,
you should come to. You should come to some of our meetups, man. We've been getting together. If you want to join us, we've been getting together at different spots, and Jesse's been throwing. You know Jesse from Hingham.
I haven't met him. You know what's weird? I've been in the chat since like the beginning of time. Like I remember like the very first few channels, you know.
Yeah,
it took me a while to actually start talking to people.
That's good, dude.
That's
It's,
good you're talking now. Glad to have you on. Is this your first time on getting onto a show?
No, I was on Zulu one time.
Oh, okay.
For like
All right.
10 minutes.
Nice.
Well,
I
yeah.
appreciate you.
I can get some fun up here though, you know. And
Yeah.
I got my own house, so we can come here and jam. Michelle
Yeah,
keeps saying,
dude.
what's Michelle's fucking name?
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah, Michelle L is
so I
Ray.
Michelle L in the chat is unofficially Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been. You were talking about getting together a jam a little while back, and then I didn't see you in the chats for a while.
Yeah, remember that? Okay. Yeah, because I take care of my dad who's on dialysis.
Uh-huh.
And like he wasn't gonna do it, and he would have died. His kidneys at like 10%. So then I hooked up a dialysis machine here, so he lives here in the basement. You know, I fixed it for him, and it's cool. So we got the whole house. I can grow throughout the rest of the house. Just gonna keep him a dialysis area. So
Awesome.
yeah, but we could jam. I just get some stuff going. I started playing bass again. I bought a couple basses on Amazon.
Great. That's
awesome.
killer,
You're
dude.
taking care of your dad, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
Much respect.
Yeah, definitely. Opening your house up to someone who's sick. I think he's
I think we
frozen.
lost him.
Yeah, Bad Fish is one of my favorite Sublime songs. You know, it's
That's what I thought it was
Yeah.
from. I was wondering.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Tell me that I'll never be set free.
Yeah.
I'm a parasite.
There you are again. You're back.
Step into the night.
So how do I find out where the meetups are at?
If you contact Jesse from Hingham, he's put together all of them.
Isn't he using the app?
He should be on Facebook. But if you let's see, what would be the best thing?
Isn't
Just
he
send me a
using the app,
comment on
though?
my channel. Send me a comment on my channel, and and leave me your email address like in the comment, and I'll hook you up.
Just write it down. You got a pen?
I do.
Yeah, just
I
write
do.
it
Tell
down.
me.
What is it?
What is it?
It's DANIEL. So Daniel. And then
Daniel?
my last name is PLAUD. 411.
D as in dog.
gmail.com. So it's Daniel Plot 411 at gmail.com.
PL.
All right, bet I
Awesome,
got
dude.
you, bro.
Is Jesse here?
All right.
Who's Jesse?
No, he's not here, but
He's not here. He's probably on the road. He does a lot of traveling.
But I'll give him your. I'll give him your email. Is there anything
Hey,
else you want to say?
What, Najla?
Hey, what's up?
Look at
Hi,
you
how
guys.
That's awesome.
Hi, everybody.
You guys like
That prayer was nice. Whoever said that prayer, that's cool. Just the right time too.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, Badfish Bear, I'm gonna let you go, brother.
Good job, you know. So I caught it just the right time when we're talking about trying to, stay sober. It's not easy. Trust me.
Oh yeah,
Through hell.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm 50 years old. I look like I'm 80. All right, boys. I'll let you go.
Yeah,
All
brother.
right, Badfish Bear. Thank you so much.
Very much love.
Yeah, see you guys.
Later.
Much love.
I don't want to interrupt.
Hey,
Hey guys, I love you guys.
look, you
What's
guys like
up?
light up a room. Like honestly, your smiles are awesome. I love that.
Yeah, you guys are cool, and you got beautiful
love you
children
guys.
too.
Oh, thank you, man. They're sleeping, man. It's
It was
awesome.
cool. My wife thought that was so cool. The whole family was there and stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was fun, man. It was fun. We were lucky because Grandma was there. If we didn't have Grandma, it would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that because we didn't have grandma.
Dude, I know. I commend y'all. I commend y'all.
I
That shit is
know.
not easy.
We're not
man.
bringing them next time. We
Nah,
already
I heard.
did that. We're
I
not doing
love
that.
Kaylee. Tell Kaylee I love her, and tell Carrie I freaking love her. Make
No, I
sure
will. Yeah,
We
she'll
will,
be excited
for
to
sure.
talk to you tonight. She'll be coming over here in a little bit, and yeah, I'll tell her that she loved you too. Like really had a connection.
Yeah,
with
Rasta, you guys are awesome too. It's so
it was
cool.
real.
I love this shit.
you. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
This is great.
Yeah, man, and the kids are good. For
That's
us,
great.
they're a selling point because they're like so cute, you know.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when they're
man,
old
you
enough
guys
to
are
run
like
out.
really great vibes. Just approaching you guys, like it was really cool. Like you guys are awesome. I freaking left all my stuff by your table. I feel terrible, but it is like
Oh no, you're
I
good.
trust
man.
it. It's like I trust. It's not like I shouldn't trust anybody and whatever, but
No,
it's just I felt comfortable with them right there. It was cool.
yeah.
So
Anytime.
James, you had an
I
epiphany.
relate to you, bro. Like I vibe with you big time.
Oh yeah, dude. We'll talk.
Yeah, man.
James, you had an epiphany that led you to Grounded Extracts, and what was like the very first step that you did? Like, what was the first thing that you focused on? Like, did you just start going out and researching, or what did you do?
Well, I've been researching for a really long time, and I've been moving that direction. So I was on Suboxone for like 4 years at this point, and a ton of other medications. And so I found someone who was selling LSD, and I went down this kind of weird road to get there. I started like buying a ton of LSD from this guy, and I don't think this is a good thing or like people should do this. I'm just saying what happened for me. So what it did was it gave me kind of just think outside the box, and I was able to cut down a lot faster on Suboxone, like drastically in a matter of like 4 months.
Hell yeah, dude.
So then it just weird things started happening. So it gave me, it just destroys your immune system, and I was going to work for New York State, and it was just like really difficult to like get out of bed in the morning, and I weighed nothing, and it was really hard, but the LSD just gave me like, I don't know, it was like psychedelic coffee. Like I was able to, you know, I had motivation to do shit. And so I
Yeah.
started researching specifically what could get me off Suboxone, like, because I would try to stop and just do other things and just smoke a lot, but I just wasn't able to do it with that. With just smoking, it was just unbearable, and I had been doing it for like 10 years. And I was just like at the end of my rope, and so I just researched it, and I ended up talking to these people, and one path led me down another, and I met this lady who works directly with these tribes, um, and it was just like fate. Everything lined up, and so I it's like, because it's like 75 grand to like, I mean, I'm sorry, 7,500 to like 10 grand to go to like Mexico and do it, and then people pay like 20 grand to go to like Africa and do it, and it's a Schedule 1 here, which tells you something, you know, and
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Ooh.
yeah, dude, but it turns your truth meter up to 10. Like your conscience, a lot of people don't like it because it's very confrontational with the truth in their own life and not just outside. Not,
Hey, were you shooting up?
oh
You were
yeah,
shooting up, right? All right.
yeah, for like 7 years straight.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
I fortunately didn't get that
that's
far.
good. That's really
I was
good.
smoking the shit out of it and snorting the
Yeah.
shit out of it. I was never been a fan of needles. I couldn't. I watched my. That's how all my best friend Will. That's how he died. But I don't mean to interrupt you. Keep going. Keep going.
No, you're good. You're good. Uh, so I got a contact for Ibogaine, and I did it, and it was great, and I haven't looked back, and I tried so many things over like 10 years, so that's why I try to spot like that while being you know, low key about it. But you should research a tree that just exists, you know, and I think it's just a lot better if you are prone to doing certain things just because you just feel inclined to do them. Like I think, and but you want to stop. I think that's the route to go. What you said before, Austin, about like intent, you absolutely got to have the intent. If you don't have the intent, so I've given Ibogaine to certain people, and I've been a sitter for them, and they don't. I start bringing things up that I know is a problem for them, like and they wouldn't even want to talk about it. So the fact that they didn't want to talk about it, and they tried to not think about it, and you know, he just wasn't, his intention wasn't there. And it's weird because Iboga's so strong. I'm like, how could it not work for certain people? So that's why I believe it's 100% spiritual, because
Yeah.
it's different for every single person, you know.
The iboga sounds a lot like
Woo, bro! I
ayahuasca.
just got goosebumps for some
mean,
reason.
that's what I was thinking.
And they
Sounds a
call it
lot
the
like
male.
ayahuasca.
They call it the male counterpart to ayahuasca. So ayahuasca is the female, like Rishi is the female, and Chaga is the male. It's like that.
Because what you were describing is true for a lot of people with ayahuasca, where it opens you up to kind of look at yourself, you know.
Oh
And
yeah,
there are a lot of people after ayahuasca that come out of there just like totally changed, you know,
yeah,
like, because it basically, you have to kind of like accept your own death in some type, in some context, you
dude.
know, which is
That's 100% right. And that was one of the first like visuals I saw, was that it was all about what you were saying before too, death of ego. I had to accept that I can't live for myself anymore. And that was the whole thing. And then I had to go through listing one by one, like a million miles an hour in your head, seeing it all, everything you need to stop, and you know, what you need to give up. And and so I had this experience where it like God himself was telling me, you know, that he was like handing me a sword. It sounds insane, but it was like clear as day, and it, like so tangible. I mean, I have so many stories like this, way more tangible than this. I was still awake, but I was like given a sword, and I was like riding a horse up to this mountain that like cut off at a cliff, and there was like a dragon coming up over it, and I had to like be willing to slay the dragon, and it was so fucking real that it's like in a video game, no problem, like let's do it. But
Yeah.
like I genuinely could feel like the horse. I could genuinely feel like, and I had to like this. It was fucking weird, and like it was like a movie. The camera shot back, and in my head, I'm seeing this dragon come up at the end of the cliff, and like I was like, fuck it, I can't. So much is happening in this short amount of time. Going through my head, like what I have to, I have to accept like dying basically because, you don't think you're gonna make it because in real life none of that shit would happen.
Yeah.
But dude, I did it, and it was such like a humbling. I was like crying my eyes out, and it was it was all metaphoric, and like the dragon was like my own, was like my ego. It was really fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But dude, I like it, I haven't heard this from too many people, but I had like experiences where I like time traveled through different decades in the 1900s and shit. It was like fascinating. I spent like weeks there, and it was like a day. And Najla was like freaking the fuck out because she thought I was losing my mind. But it was like the best thing I ever did.
Bro, Kaylee can tell you so many stories where she was like, I don't remember them, but she's like,
dude.
oh my god, dude! Like I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Kaylee being there, I don't know if I'd even be here. Like,
Isn't that nice, dude?
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
nice. It's a blessing,
It is absolutely, dude, absolutely. But she can tell you, man, because I would go on some benders and just like, I don't even know what I did.
Dude, yeah, dude.
I was
used to
told
like
what I did.
Well, that that and having children too is just like such a game changer, and it's been a big factor in my life that's finally had me to get my head on straight. Like looking into your child's eyes and knowing that they depend on you to be there for them and to show them the right way, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to wish these addiction upon them, and you definitely don't want them to have to see you go through that as well. And so like that,
My oldest did. He did. He'd seen shit that he shouldn't have ever seen.
mhm.
That I completely, absolutely regret.
Yeah,
He's
well,
seen some fucked
you're
up
here
shit.
now, and that's all that matters, and like and you have the love and the good foundation to be an excellent parent, and none of us are perfect. I've
That's all I've been doing is trying to just raise them the right way, and it's kind of like the whole "my name is Earl" thing. I've been trying to right my wrongs ever since. Like
Yeah.
trying to do right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My oldest son, he's the same way, like I used to take him with me to the hippie festivals and stuff and like all these gatherings, and we'd he was a seasoned veteran, by the time he was even in like kindergarten or first grade, just seeing what was up. But at the end of the day though, I'm just like so happy that I'm where I'm at now, and same with everyone else here. It's like there's no better place to be, and our path it got us here. And so even though it's been there's been ups and downs, it's just like everything that we've done to get here has led us to this point. And so that's why I don't look up and like glorify those times that I've gone through, but I do I don't necessarily regret them because they led me to here.
Yeah.
Right.
True that, bro. That's real.
And look at how solid it's made you, like as a character, dude, and just like all of the just I don't know, you're one of the most solid people that I know in terms of your character and just your thoughtfulness and everything like that. And that's what James as well. It is like
Yeah, all of us, dude.
it's a trait that I think a lot of people have in the community that is just they've been through a lot to get to where we are, and it's made great people
Light
out of
warriors, baby.
like
Light
the
warriors.
fire,
That's right.
the crucible, and it's shaped us into pretty solid people, which is great. James is sitting there with a baby in each arm, and just like having a great time, big smile on his face. Like that's what life's about, right?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
you
And
have a beautiful family, dude.
Thank you so
it's
much. I
hard
love
to
you guys so much, dude. We've been watching y'all for a long time. It's so cool to talk to y'all.
Bro, that is so fucking cool, dude. That's cool
Yeah,
to
man.
hear. That's
Yeah.
very. I love hearing that shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking cool, dude. Well, we're homies now, dog. So you got my number.
All right, bro.
So I did a
Hell yeah.
DMT, and it was a very similar experience, as
Mhm.
ayahuasca. And you do really come to uh you come to accept things that about the world and yourself that changes you, when and a lot of people do DMT, and a lot of people do mushrooms for that matter. Back in college, one of my buddies we were doing mushrooms, and he just couldn't believe how much of an asshole he was, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And he was just kind of like on what people would call a bad trip, right, or of some
Right.
sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he was really doing was dissecting his inner person, and he wasn't
Yeah.
liking what he sees. And that's what can happen with these things, is you can actually take them and be like, oh, I do not like what I see here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's the same with with the addiction. You look at it for what it is and you're like, wow, shit's got to change inside of me,
Yeah,
I
dude.
and that's where there's
Yeah.
a lot
And
of progress with these things. I mean, people take that same journey to Mexico to do the ayahuasca, or to where is it that they do um journeys. Like you can look them up, but they have full round trip tickets to places where you go, and for a week you basically tear yourself apart with something like ayahuasca, and you come back a whole different person,
Yeah.
and there might have been
yeah.
a lot of chains that bound you, and you realize that that you're doing it to yourself, and there's a desire, like a full-fledged desire to want to be different after that, once they kind of like get out of themselves, and then they look down at what they are, and they kind of say, oh, I can see this, and it's not, in a way that I've never seen it before, right? You're actually looking at yourself from like another perspective, and you're like, that's an asshole, I know that,
Yeah,
right?
dude. Yep. That's a good way to put it. That,
But I
that
also
was
saw I also saw the world in a different way. I saw the energy and the way things were connected, and it was almost like a augmented reality that we were living in, and the
right.
DMT kind of like stripped the augmented thing, and you're just down to like the raw technology of what makes the universe work, and it's
Mhm.
brilliant with colors and frequencies, and with like electricity coming out of everything. Like I could see
Right.
fields
Right. Yeah.
fields around things, like a fuzzy dog came walking by, and there was energy jumping off of the fur of the dogs, in
And you're
multiple.
tapping into that.
Yeah, and exactly what you would imagine is going on inside of a dog is that a dog is there's a bundle of organs and energy, and it is oozing out of stuff. We just don't see it, we
Yeah.
just don't see it when we're looking at a dog. We just see a dog. We don't see those fields around it. And the DMT enabled you to kind of like see all of that around things in a way that it was kind of like the wiring of the world gets exposed. Like uh,
Yeah.
you lift up the curtain, and you're taking a peek at the underpinnings of the world. So all of these things are going on in this trip, and you come out very different. And for some people, it's not a pretty experience. Like for me, I didn't really have the negative trip at all on DMT, but there are a lot of people that,
Well,
you know, will come out and just be like, you know, feel really,
well,
really bad about who they are as a person. And that, you know, that's
for
why I think they do it with counseling, you know, and they do it in the context of a spiritual enlightenment, and it's with other people around you that you're kind of like sharing these experiences with, because it can be very important that you don't just like open up that can of worms and then just, you know, leave it there, you know, being able to talk to people about what you feel and why you feel that way. Like after, if you have a bad experience and you really feel like, you know, you see a horrible person in front of you, uh you know, there should be people there that can comfort you, you know, and uh help you through, you know, what your next steps might be. Okay, you know, if this is what you've realized, like how can we do better, you know? And that's kind of what it sounded like with you, is like it really opened up uh you know, a desire to do better within yourself.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I never really done mushrooms or anything like that. I never done. I did a lot of ecstasy, a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as
Uh,
anything, but
I'm a
um,
I'm a big supporter of mushrooms. Like you know, psychedelic mushrooms can be very therapeutic and help you
I have
with
some chocolate mushrooms in the fridge
with
from
they
Flattoberfest.
can
Though I'm
yeah,
saving them for Flatlandic, though.
yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah, they're amazing, and they do help you reflect a lot with things that you're going through, and I think they can help you to get off of certain more addictive substances.
Sure, sure,
Um,
totally.
they can, you know, at the end, they can also, you know, you can abuse those, but you know, if you just have them every once in a while, like, you know, even just micro dosing, you know, of the
Yeah.
mushrooms is it's very beneficial. They haven't even tapped into like the beginnings of what they can do. So like I definitely support those. I've never personally tried ayahuasca, though I've wanted to, but I have had lots of experiences on the DMT, and I've had good experiences, and I've also been contacted by these entities that were like they had elongated heads and talked in like this Sumerian language
Yeah.
that was like really just it was there was a few times where they came to me. One time they took me to wherever they're from and pulled me into like this stadium, and there was like thousands of these creatures all surrounding me, and like I was in the center of it. And
Mm.
and yeah, so it was real strange. I think that there's like a big difference between DMT and the ayahuasca, and that's why, you know, once we see Joe Rogan, you know, promoting the DMT, it's like I'm done with that stuff. You know, like I don't. You know, I think that you know
He
I
promotes
think
every single substance there is, though. You know, but I
yeah
hear what you're saying. I agree. You know,
yeah
I agree. I agree. If they're spotlighting something like super
I
hard, like every show, it's like, huh? You know,
I have had
I think
my good experiences with the DMT, though. I think they've helped me to accept things like the Mandela effect, and that our reality is fluid and it's not, you know, just set in stone. Because like I would smoke the DMT sometimes, and I would just open my refrigerator and look in the fridge, and like all the food and stuff in there would start dancing around and like changing like a German clock, you know, like things would just be shifting right in
yeah,
front of my eyes. And yeah, and so like I know like
psychedelic elves, bro. Psychedelic elves, man, for
yeah,
real.
yeah, exactly. And the clockwork elves. And
Yeah,
that's one of the things, you know, and you see that stuff, and so you realize that there's more to this reality than what we're seeing. And
yeah, dude.
if just like tapping into a substance like that allows you to see that, you know, then it's obviously there. But you know, and so I do appreciate those times of checking that out, but I also realize now that you can reach those levels spiritually and in a meditation,
Yeah,
without getting, you know, without getting high on those substances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
mean, you can trigger those kinds of modes. It's almost like we have different modes that we can put ourselves in, and you can kind of trigger those different modes in ways.
yeah,
Uh,
and that's why like a lot of these things, like I like addiction and experimentation are two different things. There's a lot of these substances that are out there that that aren't really that addictive, and it is interesting to explore just the things that are out there. I'm not encouraging people to go do a bunch of random substances, but at the end of the day, it's like you have to know yourself, and you have to know like your mindset and your intent as to why you're doing these things. But yeah, because I really I think that there's a time and a place for everything, and the creator obviously put these plants like ayahuasca and
Shout out Daryl Davis. Much love,
yeah,
brother.
what's up, Daryl Davis? Yeah, the creator put these things here. I feel like for our benefit, and they would like psychedelic mushrooms. Like, why do they grow if we're not supposed to, have them?
And
Like why?
people will completely disagree and be like, oh, and they'll shame think, no, not everything is meant to be consumed. But clearly, like the things we're talking about are, in my opinion, and people that want to point at a plant or anything like that and call that bad instead of their own self control or habit or whatever, or someone else's, like my dad always used to try to find out who our drug dealers were, me and my brother, and I was like, why are you going after them? Like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
you
another
gonna find
dude.
another one.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
dude. So,
know,
um, but
that's real.
yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Getting late.
This has been
Yeah,
a
we're
great
about to wrap
show.
it up. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Honestly, I gotta
Really
round
great
up these
show.
boys. This has been an amazing show, dude. Like an amazing show. I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Much love,
James,
man.
we gotta have you on again for a whole for like a whole show. Like we gotta get you on here again. I'd love to
All right,
have you on the Melodome again.
all right, man.
yeah.
Maybe you could walk us through some of the cool products that you have too.
Okay, man. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool as fuck. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm working on the
Rasta.
melody.
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah, hell yeah, bro. Yeah, we'll talk about that
Yeah.
for sure, man. Rasta, bro, much love, dude. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
much love to you guys. It's always an honor to be on, and especially talking about something that hits home as much as this subject. It's something that it's been a continual struggle for a lot of us in this community, and if we haven't dealt with it ourselves, like we've lost family members and loved ones, and so
Oh yeah,
I really do feel it to be a positive thing to share our experiences, and I'm always down to talk about it more too. Talk about ways to get
yeah.
up out of
Well,
this mess.
we should
To
definitely
heal
do this
yourself.
again. I definitely want to do this. We're gonna come back to this for sure. I think I want to make this something. Like we don't
And
have to do this. Like we'll do this. I don't know, man. Might be like a monthly thing. Who knows? I don't know. I like this though. I like how this was. Everyone in the chat really vibed with it. I think this is. I mean, this is a healing process for me as well. This is for everybody. And this was a healing process for me. I love this stuff.
And like
So
you said, Rasta, there are a lot of people that are still battling, addictions in the community that are really, fit the same description as you guys had. They're constantly, falling off the wagon, hating themselves and coming back. But, the honesty that they have with themselves and the lack of ego that they have being in this community and stuff like that, and having a bunch of people that are the same way that have nothing but love to give and support for anyone that's going through any of this stuff. So the more we can kind of create, open channels of communication for people that might be having problems to reach out and to you know to anyone here, because there's just a lot of people that know exactly what they're going through, you know, and it's a great group of people uh, that are honest, so brutally honest with themselves that they've sacrificed family members for the truth, and that says a lot, you know, and
Yeah.
and so this kind of show, I hope, puts together some pieces for some people and maybe some resources to reach out to. Hopefully you guys will get some feedback from people in the chat that
Oh, I
contacted me.
definitely think we'll get some feedback, man.
Someone was asking Rasta Bear for your email address. Do you have anything?
Yeah, Rasta, someone asked for your email address.
Yeah, I dropped it in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
All right.
great.
Yeah, I dropped my email in the chat.
James, anything you want to add to this?
No, man, that was great. I had a great time, man. Thank you guys. Thank you for
Yeah,
having
man.
me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
much love,
Thank you
brother.
for coming on, man. Like, I
Yeah.
really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
No, I love you guys, man. Thank you for having me.
Cool.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, Brian, everybody, you guys are the fucking best. So
And
much
we're
love.
gonna have to have Jeremy on another time when he's got a good
Yeah,
connection.
yeah. I text him. He, you know, that it's not working out for him, but we'll definitely have
That's
him
all right.
on.
He'll
We'll have
be
him
on
on for the next one.
The next
That'll
one,
be a
yeah.
reason to do another one because we got to have him
Yeah.
on because he has a great story.
Awesome.
Man, I resonate with that guy too, man. He's a great guy. All right, everybody. Much love, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. This was amazing. I love all of you. At mellowdome.com, we just got all the product into the mail, so I'm gonna start putting some shirts together, then throw that shit up on the website, and then I'll have it hopefully ready to show you guys Sunday Rising for the Awake and Bake, and I'll show you what's on there, options of shirts and stuff like that. So, but yeah, again, thank you everybody for being here. Shout out to all of you. Love you all. James, Rasta, much love. Christian,
Yeah,
my brother.
Much love, brother.
All right. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you.
Good
You
night.
guys, we're all awesome, man. We're the fucking best, bro.
That's right. We're the fucking best.
Yeah, buddy. All
Later,
right.
guys.
When you keep it real, you keep the real ones. All right.
Yeah, you do.
Peace.
Peace.
Time's up, it's the end of the show. Time's up, the Mellow Dome. Time's up, we can all just go home now. Time's up, you were hit on your bike. Time's up, it's the end of your life. Time's up, see you on the wake and bake. Go home, just take it on home now. You can all go home, just take your ass home now. Just go home, it's time to go home now. Take it on home. We can go home, we can all go home now.
The Mellow is a beautiful place we've created in our minds to explore the world around us, the oceans and the skies. We want to reach out and connect with humanity, with beautiful souls, truth-seeking minds, open eyes to see Why they always trying to grow, trying to clown us like Neil deGrasse so-and-so. They must be joking, cause the bears they've been poking, they are woken, far from broken, on another level float. We got to keep the truth flowing, cause they'll be choking as we keep quoting all the facts we've been told, cause the truth is potent, the globe is broken, we are still, ain't no motion. We know that we don't know. Ooh, that's how we grow. We stop fighting with ourselves. We learn to let things go. Now we all come together in this moment in time for fellowship, to share the truth, to relax and unwind. So, gotta keep the truth flowing, so you'll be choking as you're quoting all the facts we've been told. Because the truth is potent and the globe is broken, we are still, there ain't no motion. The mellow is spoken, so take it back, take it home, hit us up on the phone, cause you don't have to be alone. Welcome to the Mellow. The oceans and the skies, won't you reach out